Hey everyone, welcome back to the Half Soybean channel. My name is Sharon and today we are going to be making a office dress, a corporate style dress. I don't know. Anyway, I'm making this for my admission ceremony to become a lawyer, and I did want to make a suit, but that proved to be quite difficult, so I'm chickening out and making a dress instead. So much has been happening in April for some reason. Like, I'm getting stuff ready for my graduation and I'm getting admitted. I also had a birthday and I'm really excited to announce that I'll be working as a brand ambassador with Luisa, which is really exciting. So thank you once again for sponsoring today's video. I guess this one's a little bit more special because I am finally closing like the education chapter of my life. It's just been such a long process. What the hell? It's coming to an end. I also want to let you know that Luisa is currently running their Mother's Day sale. So they have 15% off everything on their website. So if you've been eyeing anything, now's the time to get them. I've got a link in my description box and also I'll pin it in the comments. So if you do want to purchase something, please just go through that link so they know that I sent you. I'll definitely be picking up a few pieces for my mum this Mother's Day. I mean, she's just been doing the most to support me through my education and just looking after me like all the time, my well-being, everything, and I'm sure she'll love them. They are so versatile and really age appropriate for everyone. I'm sure it will look very elegant and lovely on her. That's kind of what makes Luisa really awesome, because you don't really have to try hard to be fashionable with your jewelry. I usually just throw on a pair of earrings and a necklace with my outfit and it just goes so seamlessly. I think it just looks really great without trying super hard, which is what we all want. Like, we just want to make things easier, right? I think the really cool thing, which I have talked about like all the time, is their sustainable practices. Luisa is 100% carbon neutral. So this is like everything from like their shipping partner all the way to how they do things within the company. The other thing is they use old jewelry or recycled computer parts with gold in them to make the new jewelry that they have in their collections. They also have really high quality jewelry and they've been made to last. But if you do have any issues with it, they have 365-day warranty and they can help you out with whatever issues that you might have. They also say no to luxury markups, so they have really great quality jewelry starting at only $39. I really think there's something for everybody. Just a reminder that they are having 15% off. All of the details will be in my description box. So one of the first questions I had for myself was, what am I actually supposed to wear to this ceremony? So I had a look at the fact sheet and it actually tells you to wear business attire, something you would wear to a corporate meeting. But this kind of had me stumped because I don't wear a lot of corporate clothes to start with, and I don't think they meant the fun kind of colorful business clothes either, because after all, we are going to court. It was kind of getting chilly because it is autumn and I wanted a dress with long sleeves. I kind of like the sleeves on this dress, and so this was kind of my starting point. I rummaged through the patterns I had and thought I'd just use what I have to make something similar. Today I'm going to be using this vintage paper pattern that I found in the op shop for only 50 cents, and I actually used the sleeve pattern to make my Bridgerton's dress sleeves from a couple of videos back. This is a vintage pattern, so I'm not sure if you can really find it widely, but I will try to find any similar options and try to link them down below. I do know that I want this dress to be long sleeves and not short sleeves like the pattern, so I'll just be like extending it to be longer, and that's because it's quite cold in Sydney now. We're well and truly into autumn. And the other detail I want to add is a cuff, like a button cuff to the sleeve if I can. So I've just got some black fabric and I've got this patterned, it's really pretty, it's like lawn fabric, but I'm gonna be using this as lining because I don't want to go out and buy more black fabric, more like lining black fabric. It's just like, what's the point? It's inside anyway. And the last thing you will need is a long zipper. I have an invisible zip. This is just like, I found it in my stash so I didn't have to buy it, which is really good. I also have to warn you that this is by no means really a tutorial. I will still be including some basic steps of how I did everything and some things I changed along the way. So I already cut out my main pattern pieces and worked on the front part of the dress first. This dress has these princess seams, and just remember after you sew, just make some cuts in the seams so they're more flexible and sit on your body's curvature. I did the same for the lining. Then before connecting the back pieces, I decided to add the zipper first to the middle back pieces. I just used my zipper foot and then I also sewed it to the lining as well. And then on either side of the zipper, this is what it should look like. I was pretty happy with how the zipper went on. So after the zip, I attached the side back pieces. Similar story for the back side seams. Once you sew them, just put little cuts in the seam just to help the dress be a little bit more flexible around your body. I also pressed all of the seams open with an iron. Repeat for the lining. Then I attached the shoulder seams of the lining first. So using that front panel I already finished before, I attached it by the shoulders. Then I went on to connect the side seams of the lining. I then did the same for the black shell, taking care that I was attaching right sides together. I then sewed around the neck hole, connecting the lining and the shell. I also understitched around the neckline so that it would stay inside of the dress. To create your cuff, measure around your wrist or arm wherever the cuff is meant to sit. I created this pattern by adding 1 centimeter of seam allowance on all sides to my previous measurements. Then I cut 4 of them out, 2 for each wrist. I applied interfacing to one side. Then I placed right sides together and sewed along the edge. I pressed it open and understitched it as well. To add the button loops, I put the elastic down in that wavy shape and put washi tape on top to hold for when I sew. Kind of failed the first time because it undid under the tape, so I redid it a few times. Then I finally had some nice loops. I decided to go with 3 loops on each side. Okay, to the sleeves. I had the right idea, but they ended up being too long and I had to cut like 20 centimeters off the shoulder line, which is kind of a lot. I also didn't make the sides equal for some reason, so I had to even those out. Curved bottom like that makes the sleeve nice and poofy so that it is falling towards the ground. I sewed down the underarm length of the sleeve pieces, but I started at about 10 centimeters from the bottom of the sleeve so that later I had an opening to put my hand into the cuff section. I did a top stitch around that opening and this is what it should look like. Then I put a gathering stitch along the bottom of the sleeve and gathered that off camera. We're back to the cuffs now. This is where we should have left off. I attached one side already and this is what you should aim for. To do that, I attached the cuff to the bottom of the sleeve, exactly how you would usually apply a bias binding to any raw edges. Then I attached the sleeves to the body of the dress. For the shoulder area, I made 2 large pleats instead of gathering. I don't think you can see very well what I'm doing here, but my camera ran out of battery at this point. So I finished the dress off camera to get it done on time, but I shall explain. I'm so sorry, but I was really rushing to get this dress done. So this is the sleeve shoulder area. It's just been sewn on. I've just put a pleat right here instead of doing gathers, and I think that just kind of gives a really clean finish. I really like that. I gathered the bottom of the sleeve and I attached the cuff and also the buttons. This is what it looks like. So there's like a cut here, so obviously my hand can go through the sleeve, and the cuff is fitted to my wrist, and here are the elastic button loops, and I've attached the buttons on the other side. The inside looks like that. I actually did a blind stitch for the inside just because I didn't want stitching marks to show from the outside. I also did the hem with a blind stitch so it looks super clean from the outside like this. and there's no stitch marks along the bottom. This is what it looks like on the inside because I used that blue floral lining, but I kind of wish I just went with black lining, you know, just so it doesn't show as much when you like bend over a little bit. I don't know. And the zipper just goes down to the bottom. It's an invisible zip, and it's been attached from the inside as well. I'm gonna go in and out of light because I'm near a window, but we're on the train and we're on our way to Martin Place. We are here in front of the law courts and my parents are driving, so they're still looking for parking right now, but Kevin and I are already here because we took the train, and we still have a little bit of time, so I think we're gonna go find some breakfast and come back in 20 minutes or so. I can't film the ceremony part, so I'll see you at the signing, but if you are wondering what happens, they had live streams for those who couldn't make it, so I'll include some short clips. This might be super boring, but also I'm sure this is useful for some people because I actually had no idea what to expect despite having the info sheet. Basically, the ceremony is in 3 parts. That person is a ceremony official and they call each person to be admitted one by one. When you hear your name, you stand up and a mover, who is a lawyer, will move your admission. The presiding judicial officer, Chief Justice Tom Bathurst, admit us to the court. Then you bow and sit down.
Yi Ju Choi.
May it please the court, I move that Yi Ju Choi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Yi Ju Choi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
It's actually Yeju, my Korean name. It's never pronounced correctly, but I've come to live with that. Second, the ceremony official reads out an oath and then everyone responds in unison. Finally, Chief Justice Bathurst gave us a really nice speech and that was the end of the ceremony.
The court will now adjourn.
All stand.
Currently waiting to sign the roll. So everyone goes downstairs to sign the roll of lawyers. This is a really important part because your admission will not have legal effect until you have signed the roll. After you sign, you get your certificate of admission. Then it was pretty much all over. It was time to take a few pictures for memories. We finished taking photos and we're gonna go home, and I think we'll go out for dinner later on, but that's about it. It was super fast. I don't even know what time it is right now. I think it only took up like an hour, everything. Yeah, but I'll see you back home. Bye. See, it really didn't take long at all. It wasn't even 10 AM when we were walking back to the car. I felt like getting some pasta and pizza, so we went out to get some lunch. It was very yum. So here's a final look at the dress. I'm really sorry this video was so all over the place, and I had some real doubts about this dress along the way, but I am super happy with how it turned out. Don't forget to check out the Luisa Mother's Day sale, and I will see you very soon in the next video.